Hey and welcome to Shiny Hunter 75's video on the top 5 worst Generation 5 Pokemon designs. Now, this is only my personal opinion, you might disagree with me, which is fine, but the Pokemon I'm covering are ones that I not only really disliked when I first saw them, but ones that I still not grown on me since then, and I doubt ever will. In my personal opinion, I think Generation 5 did have some of the worst designs in Pokemon. I mean, sure, they had a lot of cool looking Pokemon too, but I felt a lot of the designs were inferior compared to past generations. Okay, my number 5 is going to be Boulder. Now, what can I say about Boulder? Right, it's just a mess. I mean, to me, it's really a Graveler rip-off, and Graveler had a far superior design. I can't even work out Boulder's design. It has 3 legs. Yes, we are going to design a Pokemon and give it 3 legs. I don't know. I don't know if those three red rocky appendages at the front are meant to represent its mouth or what. I don't know. When I look at Boulder, I just see ugliness. It's like someone decided to toss a rock and roller into a water, like a river outside of a nuclear power plant, and it mutated. No, it didn't evolve, but it mutated into this thing. However, I'm not going to be completely harsh on it. I mean, its shiny form has some pretty awesome colours, and as a shiny hunter, that's important to me. My number 4 is Amoonguss. I absolutely hated this Pokemon when I first saw it. It took me a long while to get used to it, and the only reason it's not my number 1 or 2 is because it's not as ugly as the Pokemon in those slots. I mean, okay, Voltorb and Electrode are meant to be Pokeballs that have come to life, and their Pokemon origin was done really tastefully, especially as they are organic Pokemon. But Amoonguss? Why? Why give a mushroom Pokemon appendages that look like a Pokeball? It makes no sense. It's not even only the Pokeball design on this monster that irritates me, it's just ugly. Its face is awful. The only reason Fungus is not listed here with its evolution is because at least it has a fairly cute face. I only ever caught one of these monsters, and that's only because I wanted to fill my Pokédex. Otherwise, I just simply refuse to catch them. Coming in at number 3 is Stoutland. It took me a little while to debate whether I hated this Pokemon more than Amoonguss, but after looking at it for a little while, I definitely decided I hated this design more. Sure, it's quite a powerful Pokemon, but it's as ugly as anything. Why on earth is its mustache thing as long as its body? And I hate that blue fur coat they have, it just makes it look so inauthentic. I think I would have actually have tolerated this Pokemon if its fur just stayed brown. I don't know, I just think this Pokemon wasn't a great design. And what moved it into my number 3 position the most was the fact it looks even worse in its shiny form. It's just awful. The colours just do not work at all. And as I said before, as a shiny hunter, that is a major drawback for me. Now, my number 2 is not just one Pokemon specifically, but an evolution family, the Clink series. It's not the ugly factor that annoys me about this Pokemon, but the blatant lack of originality and creativity. Okay, so you start off with a pair of gears, which I could sort of forgive, but still didn't like all that much. Then, when it evolves, it gains 1 gear. Is that it? I evolve my Pokemon and it looks exactly the same, but gains 1 gear? How uncreative is that? At least with all other evolved Pokemon, there are some profound differences in their design. This Pokemon looks exactly the same. And then you think it couldn't get any worse, but oh no, it evolves again. Clink Clang. They might as well have called it Clang too. It's basically a Clang, which remember already looks exactly like Clink, with yet another gear and a metal ring. That's it. So basically, this fully evolved Stage 2 Pokemon has exactly the same look as its basic form, with just a few gears added to it. I'm sorry, but for me, there is no creativity in their design. It's like the designers lost heart halfway through and just clumped something together. Or they needed one more evolution line for the Pokédex, and they were sort of running out of time, so they just threw something together. If Generation 6 has an equivalent to this, I'll be very disappointed. Right then, number 1. Now, this Pokemon is not only my least favourite Pokemon of Generation 5, but the Pokemon I least like overall. And believe me, least like is an understatement. I absolutely abhor this Pokemon. What is it, you may ask? Let's see. Garbodor. I mean, do I even really need to explain why I hate this Pokemon? It's trash, literally and figuratively. I mean, it's just a pile of rubbish, an exploded rubbish bag with like toilet rolls for fingers. Who in their right mind designed this thing? It's awful. There's absolutely nothing I like about it whatsoever. It's ugly, it's poorly designed, and it came from a rubbish concept, pardon the pun. I mean, did they just look around the office one day, desperately thinking of new Pokemon ideas, and happen across a rubbish bag ready for collection and think, I know, that can be a Pokemon? No! No! God, could they have imagined if they'd picked something like a stapler or a door handle instead? I just hate it, plain and simple. I doubt there'll ever be another Pokemon I will hate as much as Garbodor. I actually play my Generation 5 games in fear, just in case if I'm running around a route that Garbodor appears in. If one appeared shiny, I don't even want to think about it. And what makes this even worse is that the upcoming trading card set, Thunder Knuckle and Spiral Force in Japan, is that one of the secret rare shining cards is a Garbodor. Why, Nintendo? Why? Why do you troll us so? So that's it for my top 5 worst Pokemon of Generation 5. If I get plenty of comments and likes, I may do another one of these videos for another generation in the future. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon.